Well, it's been a crazy weekend. We'll get back into that in a second. We are trying some new lighting really, we're not trying new lighting. I have the same lighting. I'm trying some new camera settings to see if we can get some more video. I'm so frustrated with how my video has been turning out, and I'm just trying and I'm trying. But anyways, we'll see how that goes. Welcome to How to Build a Tent. My name is Matt Williams. Thank you for listening, sharing the show, tagging a friend, supporting our sponsors, becoming a member. We are part of the Fight Laugh Feast Network. Go over to fightlaughfeast.com, put in HTBT in the memo field. You'll get a free month subscription. If you do that this month, you'll get this 15-ounce mug that can hold all of your delicious beverages. Plus, you'll be supporting us as we proclaim the Lordship of Jesus in every area of life. 2020 is going to be a big one. For so many ways, God is doing so many things, and you get to be part of that when you become a member. You're supporting us. You're helping being a part of what God is doing with this network. So if you believe in the network, if you enjoy the network, if you are being blessed by the network, come be part of it and get great benefits along the way. Gift it for a friend. If you're trying to think, oh my goodness, it's like 2 days before Christmas. It's a Christmas Eve if you're listening to this late. I don't have a gift for so-and-so person, and I can't use Amazon because the delivery is going to take longer and it's not going to make it here by Christmas. Well, just give them a Fight Laugh Feast membership. Problem solved. We're problem solvers on the show. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. My goal and vision for the show for the next year, I'm calling it the 250, making 250. We'll get into that in a second as well. But first, I wanted to do some paperwork. If you have any questions, comments, I should say this too. You can email me, matt@howtobuildatent.com. You can find me on all those social media sites, How to Build a Tent. But we will not. Okay, so this is the paperwork stuff, the legal. That's not legal stuff at all. But I'm just letting you know, I will not be doing a show Christmas Eve or Christmas. I'm going to be taking those days off. I will be back Thursday and Friday with some shows, Lord willing. So we will continue from there. Last time I did like a best of, but I'm just cranking through and going to be sharing stuff with you and helping you guys as we prepare for the next year. And hopefully a lot of great things God will be doing in our lives. My pastor, I just found this out. I said that kind of funny. My pastor, Aaron Osborne, he came out with a book, and I want to give it a little shout out. Now, well, let me tell you what the book is. You can get it on Amazon. The link's in the show notes. I would really appreciate if you guys would just support him. It's $10. I mean, $9.97. If you could just give him some love, I would really appreciate that. Click the link below. It'll take you right to it. On Kindle, it's free. If you would download it, that would be a real blessing to him. He's a really great guy. It's called So Many Mountains, Which Ones to Climb? What Really Matters in Church Life. Now, some of you aren't in church life, and you'd be like, well, what does that matter to me? But there is a principle that he talks about, and it's about knowing which battles to fight. And if you are wise, and if you have been around from, any number of years, you'll realize that you could take a principle learned in a specific industry, or in this case, in the church. And if it's a true fact, if it's a true value, if it's a, proverb, a true proverb, more than likely you can apply it to other areas of life. And I just think that when you can read from somebody who's been in the industry, his industry for 20 years, there's a lot of things you can learn. And he has something cool. He's a pastor at our church, but also he goes and he plants and he does missions and he oversees a bunch of other churches and he does a lot of traveling around. So he has a lot of experience with regional management and international management. So if you guys are wanting to glean from his experience, it'll be really great. On the back of his book, he says, serious mountaineers consider a handful of mountains worth conquering. Everest, K2, and Annapurna, never heard of that. The Eiger, never heard of that one either. Everything else is just practice. So every other mountain is just practice except these big ones. Christianity has many mountains as well. Isn't that the truth? Which ones do we conquer? Which ones are necessary to climb? Which are simply molehills? Do we need to have that kind of wisdom in today's life? I mean, there are tons of battles to be fought and a limited amount of resources. It'd be great to have some insight and wisdom from somebody who has over 20 years experience in pastoring and overseeing churches to give us a little more insight on what to spend our resources on and what not to. So that link is in below. If you would like to support him, I would really appreciate it. For just a personal favor myself, if you guys would go over and support his book. Now, a business opportunity for you. No, a career opportunity for you. If you are a WordPress developer, I have a partner, a friend, who has a Christian company that gets volunteers to go out and give lessons to people that are going to like museums, to all these different places that are secular, and giving them the Christian story. So if you're in a museum and they're talking about evolution, he will come in with a volunteer and they'll give you a guided tour of the museum, but from a Christian perspective. It's absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, they recently have taken their development in-house, and they're looking for a WordPress developer to join their team. So if you're looking for maybe a change in a company, another step in your career, send me, you can email me, matt@howtobuildatent.com, your resume and, just a little something about yourself. And you can be considered for this position. It's a WordPress developer. So if you know WordPress, you're an expert at WordPress, and you want to come be part of an awesome Christian company, I mean, that's pretty great, right? I mean, if you could work for a Christian company, that would be amazing. So if you work for Chick-fil-A right now and you're a WordPress developer and you want to go work for a Christian company, you can come and work for this guy. Send me your email, matt@howtobuildatent.com, and I will make sure they get it. All right, that's enough of the details. Let's get into what I'm really excited about to talk about today. We are launching in 2020 something called 250 Making 250. And I really came up with this. Well, actually, I didn't come up with this, but I was talking with Chocolate Knox about this after our interview, which if you didn't hear his interview last week, go back and watch it. Go back and listen to it. He has such amazing insights into art, into beauty, into filmmaking. It's just a great interview to hear and glean from his wisdom. He's not the guy running the show in the back on Cross Politic, but he's just being able to share his experiences from something he has mastered in his By What Standard documentary, Cinedoc, if you will. And if you don't know what a Cinedoc is, we talk about what that is. It actually means something. I thought it was just a hippie way of saying, documentary, but it's not. It actually means something. Where was it? Oh, so we came up and we were talking about where should this show go? Because he produces this show too. The good shows. The bad shows I'm producing all on my own. I don't want to throw him under the bus. But we were thinking, what can we do in 2020? And he had this idea, and I riffed off of it. And this is what we're going to do. 250 Making 250. And what it is I want to equip you. I want to encourage you to take you, and if you have families, a family, and start a business and start a side hustle. And I want 250 of you. With the amount of people that listen to the show, that listen to this network, that is doable. That is really doable. I want you to prayerfully consider to be one of these people, to be a family, to do it together with your wife, with your children. And of course, depending on the age of your children, they'll be doing different roles, but getting them involved in the economy of the family and start creating a family business. I want 250 of us, individuals and family members, doing that this year. And think about it. It's Christmas time. Maybe it would be nice to have just a little bit more money under the tree next year. Maybe there are some things that you wanted to get your kids and you just couldn't. That feeling is terrible, isn't it? And this is a way that for next year, you could do something about it. Or maybe you wanted to give some more to a family. Maybe you wanted to donate some more. Maybe you wanted to put some more money in that bell for Salvation Army. Wherever your charity is, wherever your heart is. Maybe you wanted to help some more homeless people that you saw on the street. This could be a way that you can be in a position to do that in the next couple of years. So 250 Making 250. So what's the other 250? So this is the goal that I want you to set, because starting a business, and I know this because people just come to me and it's like, I have this idea and I have no idea where to start. And that is probably the number one question. If you're ever wondering, What is the number one question I get on business? It's, how do I start? So we are going to set a attainable goal for us, an attainable goal. And the goal is going to be $250 a month. Our goal is going to be to bring in $250 of revenue a month. And if we can get to that monthly, that could be a substantial amount of money for next year and Christmas. Now, you're not probably going to make $250 the first month, and you might not make it the second. But if you can get it by the start of the second quarter, that is in 4-5 months, making $250 a month extra for doing something on the side that doesn't take up all your time, just imagine how nice it would be to have that extra change at the end of the year. That's thousands of dollars. Now think about that just right now. If you had thousands of dollars extra today, what would look different? Would your Christmas look different? Would your giving look different? Would the stress levels in your life slowly go down? So come be part of the 250 that is going to start a side hustle, that is going to start a business where the goal is simple, $250 a month. That's it. $250 in revenue, not even profits. That is money that you make from the sell, not counting cost. So cost will take it away and you'll make some smaller amount of profit. But $250. And it's so low because I want you guys to just start. The majority of the battle in business is just starting. And there's going to be things that we're going to talk about at the beginning of the year, and maybe before then we'll see, where we're going to talk about watching your overhead, making sure that you don't have too many high revenue or reoccurring costs so that you don't get trapped when you don't get pressured in. The businesses we want to start are low overhead, low startup costs, where we're not going to have pressure to have to perform immediately. Now, when you're thinking about yourself, your wife, your kids, and your family, you kind of think of, well, what could we do? Like, I see what you're saying, Matt. It would be nice to have this little extra money on the side. And I want to be, one of these 250 people. I want to have more next year. I want to build a side hustle, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what I could make. And we think a lot of times, especially when we're talking about family businesses, of products, like we're going to raise bees and we're going to put some honey together and we're going to send it off to people, which that could be a great business. And I'm not discouraging that at all. I love honey and I love small, what do you call them? Niche honey places with like regional honey. And, maybe it's something that you're thinking about that you give away during Christmas and people love it and they look forward to it every single year. And maybe that's something that you could sell as a business throughout the rest of the year. Gift baskets or, knitting things or whatever it is. But I want you to think past products. Products are tough to sell. You have inventory, shipping cost. And I want you to start thinking about the experiences God has given you in your life with your family that could be helpful. And an example that could be is homeschooling. And I'd be like, what do you mean homeschooling? How can I make money off of homeschooling? Well, there are a lot of people that are unhappy with the public school system. There are a lot of people that can't afford private school. They can't afford to spend, a college tuition for their next 12 years before they go to college. But they're sick of public school and they consider and they think in the back of their mind, maybe homeschooling is an option. Maybe one of those hybrids where you go to a classical education school for a few days and then you homeschool for the rest. But there's this mental fear, just like starting a business, where I don't know how to do it. I could never do it. There's no way that I could pull off teaching my kids, homeschooling my kids in hybrid. But maybe you've done it. Maybe you're doing it. Maybe you've done it for years with 3-4 kids, or maybe just one kid. And you've learned a lot of things from experience. Well, you could sell that. You see people on the internet that have a subscription list that they give where you can send out some free information, some things, some tips, a fact sheet about what you need to know to start homeschooling. You can sell consulting where you could just be like a coach and help people transition from public school or from private school to homeschooling, what it's like to do this hybrid method. And I bring that up as an example because a lot of people don't realize the value of experience. And that's where consulting comes from, is people that have experience, that have insight, that have expertise, and they sell it. And just because, most of the time consulting is business related about business things, it doesn't mean that you can't be a consultant for your home, for schooling. And maybe it's something as simple as that. Now, imagine how great it would be to help other people get into homeschooling or to further the success of their children and help with their education. It would be rewarding as much as it would be to make money off of that. And if you would charge, maybe $50 for an hour consultation, or however you do it, maybe you're just selling the $10, how-to worksheet, $50, you just need 5 a month to get to that 250 goal. And you would have low cost because consulting is low cost because you would probably do it online. Or if you just sell a worksheet of 10, you would just have to sell 25 of them a month. Do you see how doable this is? And again, the point of having such a low amount of money as our goal is because if you just start and you just get in the rhythm of doing it, if you start figuring things out from a small, goal, and you just have the small business where it's not overly complicated, then you can build from that once you get comfortable there. You start out in the shallow end and you start making your way to deeper and deeper waters where you can hire people, where you can grow your website, you can do videos. There's so many different things you can do, but we just need to start. And I want to gear this show. Not every episode is going to be about this, but I want to help you guys figure out what to do, how to do it, and to do that first step and to answer that most common question is, how do I start? I mean, it's as simple as figuring out what you provide as value, a product or service, figuring out who you're going to sell it to. Just start with those two things. Just take over the next couple weeks on a holiday. You're probably not working because it's Christmas. Maybe you are. And just take a couple days and to think about what you could provide a value that someone would pay for. All right, so much more to come over the next year. I'm really excited about that. 250 for 250, 250 people or families coming together to start a business. Not to be profitable, not to be $1 billion industry in the next year, something small and manageable just to get our feet in the water. $250 of revenue a month is our goal. Not profits, revenue. Revenue minus cost equals profit. So we're not even saying that you have to make money. You could lose money on this and get a nice write-off if you file an LLC or do S Corp, talk to your tax advisors for that. Just revenue, 250 revenue. Will you be part of this with me? And I say with me because over the weekend, I just started another venture. And my wife's like rolling her eyes like, oh my gosh, another? I was just looking and she just gave me the look. Another venture, but it's just too good. It was an idea of somebody else, but he came along and asked me for his help. And we did it. And it's called Christianity Yesterday. You've heard of Christianity Today. This is going to be the parody account, the satire site, Christianity Yesterday. And our goal is to write satire that will make the departure from orthodoxy by Big Eva so laughable that people will return and repent from the pursuing of liberal philosophies of man and all other teachings that are outside the classical orthodoxy, Christian orthodoxy, and return to a biblical worldview and a biblical focus. And we're going to do it through fun. We're going to do it through mockery. We're going to do it through satire. We already have our first article up. You can go check it out, ChristianityYesterday.com. The link will be in the show notes. You can check out, I wrote the first article. We were taking the article that Christianity Today said that we should impeach Trump, that the breakthrough, the first time ever that Christianity Today has become political. We have we go paragraph by paragraph and we point out the absurdity and the foolishness of their thinking. And you know, it's funny. You might be asking, why would Christianity Today side with the liberals and reiterate and have the talking points of the liberals? Well, they claim that they did lose some subscribers, but 3 times as many people have started to subscribe to their magazine. It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins, as, what was it, Puff Daddy used to say. All about the Benjamins, baby. So we're going to make fun of them. We're going to try. And if you want to be part of it, we're looking for volunteers right now because we're just starting this off. It's not like a business. We're not, like, it's not a business yet, I should say. It might turn into a business if God blesses it. But we're just writing for fun, writing for free. If you have some talents, we had some graphic art people willing to, participate. If you want to get in on this, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you and see how you guys can come be part of this too. It could be another fun thing to do on the side. Or, just if you're sick of all these publications, we're not going to just do Christianity Day. We're going to do all those other big Eva publications as well. It's going to be a really good time. So I'm really looking forward to that. Check that out, please. I'd appreciate you guys if you would share that article that's in the show notes and give us some support, because apparently you need readers and blogs to be successful. So I have the article that I'm paragraph by paragraph making fun of and writing the satire piece from. So you can read that first and then you can follow up with mine and just have hopefully a good laugh and give me some feedback. Let me know. This is my first article I've ever read that's satire, my first blog post ever. So I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little, exposed here, but I'd love some feedback. I'd love for you guys to give me some pointers and just let me know what you think and help support us. Christianity Yesterday, trying to get people to return to the Bible, return to Christian orthodoxy. Have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy time being with your family, and we'll pick this up Thursday after Christmas. God bless.